Sinisterism is about finding the primal aspects of the left-hand path, primal in history, primal in the psyche, thus obtaining truth.
Now, there's a topic that I have never seen brought up by anyone on the left-hand path, surprisingly. Now, there most likely are articles and videos and so on and so forth pertaining to this, but I've never seen the topic of motherhood and the left-hand path brought up. Now, in Hindu traditions, the left-hand path is the feminine path. Now, of course, there are differences between the Eastern and Western left-hand paths. But, as I said, in the Eastern tradition, it is the feminine path. I have a friend who once described the difference between the left-hand path and the right-hand path as in, well, an example. When men fight, they fight by a certain code. They're not going to pull hair, gouge eyes, grab somebody by the balls, unless it's life and death. But let's say a bar fight or whatever. They're going to punch and wrestle and whatever. But when women fight, there's hair pulling, there's eye gouging, there are clothes ripped off. I remember in high school, when guys fought, it was a fight, and people enjoy watching fights. But when girls fought, holy shit, the whole school turned out. Now, I find this a fascinating description of the right-hand path and the left-hand path. Basically, to get ahead, you're willing to play dirty. Now, to help me on this topic of the mother in the left-hand path, I have my wife, Lisa Corrine. Hello, Lisa.
Hello.
Now, it's been a while since you've been here with us on, well, you help out on the channel with every video, but actually sitting here having a discussion, it's been a little while since we've done that.
Yeah, it has been.
Now, going back in your history, now I know your history, of course, and I know what you went through with your son and his father, and how basically that turned a simple little Canadian pagan woman, young woman, into, in a sense, a vicious beast in some ways. Because there's nothing more deadly than the mother animal whose young is being, let's say, to be blunt, fucked with.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a turning point for me. I had a son, a beautiful little son. He was just a little baby when all the shit hit the fan. What it was I was not a Christian, obviously, but his father was very much a Christian.
No, he was part of a bizarre religious cult, Christian cult of some sort.
And I wasn't really aware of it until we were married and I had the children.
Now,
my son, I mean.
Hate to interrupt you, but initially you just thought maybe he was just the average, I don't know, Lutheran or something,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And even though you had your pagan beliefs and he had his, you could still find a balance or whatever,
right.
Or compromise. But it was until after you were married that you discovered he was
a psycho.
A religious Fanatic.
Fanatic. Oh my goodness, yes, very much so.
Give a little more background on him.
Well,
Like you had mentioned like guns. Well, there's nothing wrong with guns.
yeah.
It's okay to have guns
well,
to
this
protect
was
yourself.
Canada,
But
right?
for him, but for him, it was bizarre. He used them to threaten. He threatened you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he would say he was going to work in the morning, and actually he was going to the U.S. to buy guns. Yeah, and bullets, like hundreds and hundreds of bullets. He actually had one of those machines that could make the bullet. Right, it's this big machine.
Now, was this cult preparing for some apocalypse
See,
or something?
that I don't know. That I'm not sure of. It was so fanatical, it was unbelievable. Anyway, because of this, that I was not on the same foot as he was, in terms of, being a
Belief
Christian.
system.
The belief system, yes. So what he did was he took my child.
Now, how old was your son at the
He
time?
was just, maybe 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah, at the most. 6 months at the most. And that he told me, and he had the gun to my head. And what he said was he would rather see my son dead than be with me. Of course, I didn't know what to do, right? I mean, because there's a gun to my head. Would he really kill my son? Would he really do that? And then, so what he did was he took my son, and he went to his mother's house.
The fanatical family.
The fanatical family, yeah. And I wasn't going now. At this point, I was mad. I was absolutely cold-hearted, mad, and wanted revenge. So I knew where his parents lived, of course, right? It was about 15, or not 15, I think it was 18 miles away from where I lived, and I had no money. And so I walked.
He had all the money.
Yeah.
The car,
Yeah.
whatever, and so
I walked to his parents' house. And when I got there, they were telling me that there was something wrong with me and that kind of stuff. The family was, and they called the police. So the police got me out of the house, right? And they kept telling me, "There's something wrong with you, Lisa. There's something wrong with you."
who the family was saying
The
that?
family was saying that to me, and the police were there. Like, they didn't do a whole lot at that point. And my ex was able to still keep him.
Was it related to money? Like he had more of well, obviously you were a housewife.
Well, no, I worked jobs too.
Oh, you did?
Oh, totally.
Okay, you were working at that time?
Yeah.
But you weren't making much. He was making more, so
Yeah.
he had the balance was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
More on his side. Then so did he have lawyers?
Eventually, he did. But what happened was he and his two sisters, one sister, they took Jamie and they went to...
Your son.
My son, yeah. And literally kidnapped him. And they were headed for British Columbia. And I didn't know that at the time. I didn't know that they had actually left with him, right? And so I'm still now looking for him. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? God damn it.
So that's what about 1,500 miles?
Oh, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
From Manitoba to British Columbia.
Yeah. And they didn't get all the way to British Columbia because they hit a
moose?
a moose, yeah, which totaled their car. Right,
Why
it
did I
was
know?
very damaged.
Why did I know it was a moose? But anyway.
And anyway, as time goes on, he got custody, and I got visitation.
Now, what did this do to you? This.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that made me. I wasn't gonna as I went through it, after it all, and I realized I will fight back. Like, I will fight back. I know my strength now.
No, even though at the time
Yeah.
you didn't know, let's say, that you were on the path, you think this is what pushed you.
Oh,
This is
absolutely, yes.
what propelled you on to what later on you understood as being on the path.
Yeah.
There was no longer the love and light and
No.
Diana, the moon
No.
goddess, whatever.
No, you're absolutely
bullshit.
right. And I didn't mean to bring that part in, but thank you. Yeah, you're right.
This is what turned you. Well, you already had it innately
Oh, yeah.
within you, but then this is what pushed
yeah.
you, let's say, into the shadows, in a sense, out of the light, into the shadows,
Yeah.
into, in a sense, reality.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And now now unfortunately, you had contact with your son later on. Now he even spent some time with you, he lived with you for a bit
Yeah.
when he was older.
Yeah.
But that brainwashing mindset was already implanted in him, unfortunately.
Oh, totally. Because he told me that I should be a Christian.
Your son?
Yes.
Well, when he was a teenager or something?
Yeah.
All right. But you still had some contact. But
Oh, yeah.
But since then, you've lost contact with him again,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Now, we were watching a documentary about Scientology.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, and basically they were interviewing people, family members, who had left either people who had left Scientology or had family members in Scientology, and how they had disconnected
Yeah.
they could no longer communicate with their family members. They were shunned, and so on and so forth. Now, I remember stopping the documentary and looking at you and basically telling you, this is what you're dealing with. It dawned on me, it's like, this is exactly what you've had to deal with. That you shouldn't feel guilt over what you, in a sense, losing your son to this cult.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel that, because you were, in a sense, your son was victimized.
Oh, yeah. And because of that, and knowing what these people will never stop, I could only hope. I thought that instead of me always fighting back, of course I always did fight back, there needed to be some sort of, I gotta let go in some ways for him to have a good life.
And hopefully he would awaken to the reality of what's going on. Not necessarily become let's say, a Satanist or a Luciferian or a Sinisterist, but just realize what was happening within this bizarre little Christian cult.
Yeah. And I never, for many years, I wasn't sure that I made the right decision.
But you did in the long run. But you did. Because it is detrimental for children to be subjected to a constant tug of war between parents. It is not healthy.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's very true. But, when I did see him again, and yeah, it did change a lot, in terms of my own practice. Don't mess with me when it comes to my kids. I'm not going to stop doing that. It gave me a sense of validation of the kind of woman I am, right? It wasn't just something that it was an overnight thing or whatever. This was me, you know,
Empowering.
empowering myself.
As Nietzsche said, whatever doesn't kill you.
Yeah, it makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And it did.